Happy Friday from the Guillén household here in somewhere in the suburbs of Illinois, actually Lamont. Welcome to another episode of Being Guillén. We're all still here. You fix your microphone over here, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, how's your tooth?
I still sore.
So we had to push it. We had to push the show a little bit an hour later because a couple of family agendas. He had a toothache. Oni was just trying to put the show on live. What's up?
I can't get over this weather. Like it's really
good.
It's really nice to be. Well, these guys are getting used to living in Chicago in the fall, but I've been here a long time, and I'm very grateful. I'm very happy for this weather. Hopefully, it goes all the way through January.
Through January.
I wish.
That's not going to happen. So talking about nice weather, we had an amazing family day here on the show. We have a segment called The Being Guillén, doing it live for the gram, and the video of today is actually the number one member of the Guillén family, the little crazy one, Adela, going and seeing her favorite animal. I think it's her favorite animal, cows.
Su cola, tiene su cola.
So I think that
You know what? People don't realize this.
¿Te gusta?
My dad is from kind of like a farm background, like
country.
country. Country.
Why we know animals?
Yeah, country background. And Adela's not your typical girl. She's not really big into dolls and like little Barbie dolls. She's a big animal person. So they took her yesterday to some pumpkin patch, and she went nuts, like very, very excited. And how do you say milk? I've never milked a cow.
He's milked a cow.
I say I have nipples.
milked a cow.
I have nipples. Can you milk me? If anyone's ever seen Meet the Parents, he goes, "You can milk anything with nipples."
Yeah.
I have nipples, fucker. Can you milk me?
So he grew up milking. He's actually trying to show us. There was another video of that, him actually showing how you milk the cow. But it's great because Ozzy never had a chance to do that sort of thing because he was playing the time.
I would have never milked
the mask is awesome though. Nobody recognizes Ozzy with the mask.
No,
People do the double take and they're like, nah.
There's no way that Ozzy's at pumpkin patch milking cows.
Got free ice cream from muffins.
That's funny because people see me in this area. It's like, what you doing?
Well, it's a big White Sox area. He's not used to that, living in the South Side. But everyone wants to talk playoff. It was a good time. Take your kids out there. We were being safe. Got our mask on. Still, the Guilléns are still, thankfully, no one's attracted COVID-19.
Us and all MLB.
So here we go. The first segment is going to be exciting. It's obviously playoff time. Hearts are broken. People become reality. But in the words of Dusty Baker, they wanted us. They got us. Oakland, out of here. I knew Oakland Athletics were done the moment everyone on Twitter and White Sox Twitter said, "We're with you, Oakland."
Well, I personally have this. This is where the buck ends for Houston.
This is the moment where I am going to come out live. I did not bring down my Houston hat. I will be rooting for Houston because I know you're not rooting for Houston. You know what? I slept on it. I am no one to say I am not the gatekeeper of what's right and wrong in baseball. Dusty's a new manager. Manfred made this possible with the new setup. So who are we to tell them? That's like if you commit a crime and they give you a lesser sentence and then you're out walking the streets. That person, they did what they did. I'm rooting for them. They're there. All Astros.
And by the way, I got two coaches, good friend of mine, great friend of mine, Lopez. Dusty was one of my heroes. I know Dusty, I was like, wow.
Since you were a bad boy. So tell them that. So Ozzy was a bad boy in the Venezuelan league and Dusty was a player. Don't do the math on Dusty's age.
Bombery, Paul Casanova, Dusty Baker. And one of my biggest memory was...
How old is Dusty?
Well, and I was running before the game, and told La Russa not let anybody talk to no one. You know,
it's a rule that I agree with wholeheartedly.
And that rule.
So let me set up. So let me set up the story. So before the game, when you were a player signed with Major League Baseball, you were first year in the big league.
And hi to Sammy Garcia, one of the best professionals.
Hi, MVP.
So you're running down the line. You're trying to warm up, and there's a rule for the White Sox. You can't talk to other teams. Fraternizing. There's no fraternizing, which again, Major League Baseball went away with that, which I hate. But you see Dusty Baker. Obviously, you've known Dusty as a kid, meaning you were his bad boy. And then you go up to Dusty and try to talk.
Dusty didn't see me long.
What do you recognize you?
No, the other song. I went by and I said hello, and he's like, "What's up?" You know, talking about a kid with a super
vet.
player, super player. I said, hey, Dusty, and he know by my name because we play in spring training. What's up, Ozzy? You don't remember me? I said, I can't remember you. I don't know you. They go, I'm Maquinita from La Guaira team. And this guy, he went crazy. And he hugged me and he talked to me. And I was afraid because I see he turned the rules out, Milan.
I may get in trouble.
Oh my God, I will get in trouble. Well, Eddie Brinkman saw me. He's my first my infield coach. And Dr. talking to me. And I kind of like tried to back him up. I'm like, yeah. Then all of a sudden he left, coming back to the dugout. Eddie Brinkman told me, you're lucky I'm the one to see you. So I mean, if Tony see you, you're going to be in huge trouble.
Well, and you know what? It's something that happened. I mean, Corey Bellinger and Tatis were being very friendly during the game at second base. It's not as common as it was back then. People fraternize all the time. I am not on the Dusty train. I will say this is where I picked the buck ends here. Dusty, I'm sorry that you took over a team that's hated. Yankees will win today. That's why they paid Garrett Cole for the big game.
Yeah.
And I expect the Yankees to advance. And then I expect the Yankees to get revenge on Houston.
Okay, so what happens if the Yankees get revenge on Houston? Houston takes them out. Hold on. I'm going to explain. I'm going to do the whole scenario. Oakland, we want you. We haven't won divisions because you cheated. Oh, okay. Oakland comes up, knockout. Oakland's out. Oh, the Yankees, we didn't advance because of that. Knockout. 4 years in a row going to the American League Championship Series. So if Houston Astros, for some miraculous reason, because their roster is really weak on the pitching, they win. They win this series and they become world champs by knocking out everyone that wants a shot at them.
Oh, then the Dodgers.
Then the Dodgers, they might hit them and knock them out. You don't know. So the Astros are in a position, if they lose, they're like, hey, we lost. Because the teams are way better than them when you put them on paper. Today, Tampa, the pitching staff-wise, they're going against, again, today, something that's unprecedented. And I wanted to ask Ozzy this question when we get to the Yankees, but we're talking Padres. Padres, very disappointed. Swag team. Graterol from Venezuela, my new favorite pitcher. Grab the glove, throw it. He was so happy Bellinger made the catch. From that series, though, I like one thing, okay? The Dodgers were a very non-emotional team. And the moment that the Padres woke them up, Mookie Betts was talking back. Muncy was talking back.
Those guys never talk back.
They never talked back. They finally talked back. Why? What I've been saying. You do all the swagger. When they do it to you, it affects your little heart.
Where?
And I'm going to predict that with the Dodgers, with the Braves. It's affect their little heart, and they're going to get upset. Because when you play a bigger opponent, we saw Manny. I love you, Manny.
The Dodgers,
but you were crying.
The Dodgers are, I've said it 9 months ago, the Dodgers are world champs.
They're the team to beat. So for you, do you think as a manager that pumps you up when a team starts bat flipping in that, and then you go and you beat them and you rub it in their face?
Oh, of course. But nowadays, in my time, it's not bat flip. No. In this time, you got to change your philosophy. You got to change your mentality. You got to change everything because you grew up where I grew up. Everything was no. But if you are the lead in the country in bat flipping, in high five, we call it hot dogs. You guys call it fun game. They have fun. Yeah, we call them or respect the game. We call it all kind of names, but you got to call it fun. Then when they do it to you,
gotta wear it.
Why you get upset? You gotta wear it. By the way, Manny, I love you. I know Rosa very well. I know all your family. I know you as a kid. When you talk from one foul line to another, got some guts and go chase somebody.
Well, he has. He did. I mean, when he went up to against the Royals, I think he was upset. I honestly,
he's 20 times.
I personally think before we get into this tweet from Fernando Tatis that he's basically saying, the leader of the swag group of Slam Diego, Manny, what Graterol did was a bit awkward.
It was just funny.
He threw his hat.
Who cares?
Yeah, okay, but it was awkward. He's a Venezuelan guy.
I see guys taking pictures.
Selfies.
Then they don't do.
But that's what Mookie Betts was telling you, and Muncy's saying, "Hey
right,
man,
you guys do this. Just take it. You have to wear it." And Fernando Tatis Jr. basically is saying, San Diego, don't worry, be proud. And I would agree with him that the Padres will be back.
Trevor Bauer,
but the only
top teams for Trevor Bauer.
But one of the things I will say this about San Diego, you're in a tough division.
tough division.
Because the Dodgers are good.
They're going to keep,
and they have money to be good every year.
So I don't think the Giants are going to be good. I think the Diamondbacks are who knows what they are. But I think that two things right here. Tatis Jr. is a professional. I think that him tweeting, he knows he's got to back it up on the field. I know that he's an exciting guy. Congratulations to the Padres. Yes. Their manager did an amazing job of being a first-year playoff manager. His two big arms go down. He is forced to manage. Again, anyone who's listening, especially people on the South Side, he is forced to manage because he doesn't have a starting pitcher, meaning he had to have a kid debut in the playoffs.
I will say
he
this.
Did a great job.
I will. Okay, who trade Clevinger when no Clevinger?
The Indians.
The Indians. Means that they're
Cleveland. No,
Cleveland knew something.
Or either that or they have other guys that
they pull a parquet.
Yeah, and speaking of what's going on with the Padres, I'd like to give credit to the organization.
Yes,
they got Hosmer, they got Manny Machado,
James Shields.
I hate to bring it again. Hate to bring it up. The Sox did one of the worst trades known to man, and they gave him Fernando Tatis Jr.
They also Myers. Shields.
Will Myers was also there. So I will say this: James Shields, he's tweeting. He's like, man. He goes, I had 4 RBIs today. He's making fun of what happened because he knows.
But these guys. But that's the value for their general manager of knowing to signing a big name pitcher that he can move in the trade deadline. But they did well. He's one of the only teams in a 60-game season that I still think that they're going to be good when they add more pitching.
Correct. So the Padres, they did a good job because these are one of the teams that we don't believe that is a 60-game fluke, like the Marlins.
That was, and I had my Marlins torque
because if you look at what happened, the Marlins were overmatched. They got whooped every game.
I'll throw my team. I'll throw the team that we follow the most, the White Sox. I'm still with them.
Exactly.
I don't know how they're going to blossom.
They finished third.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how they're going to blossom.
So I don't think
game season.
So don't put too much stock.
Don't put too much stock on the Marlins. Don't put too much stock. But I think this Padres team, I think they got a good core. Hosmer, they got balance. They got guys that can play multiple positions. If they go and get a couple pitchers and their other guys get healthy, they will compete. They just went in. They saw the Dodgers are just really, really.
And now you get a game. I think the Braves are the Braves undefeated in the playoffs.
Yes,
Dodgers and Braves are both undefeated. They're about to see.
They're
going to face each other. Braves, right?
Who the Braves played?
Right. So I believe that the Dodgers. I
give credit to Marlins, bro. I do.
Oh, they battled with nothing.
You know why?
Oh, because of the COVID and the COVID.
They play doubleheader.
Right.
You know why they survive? Because they're young.
They're young. They're healthy, and they ran into they ran into a Braves team that was that much better. They got hot, but the Marlins did it. But they did it. They didn't even know who that in the roster.
And then you have Ronald Acuna tweets, "They have to hit me because they can't get me out." The next day he goes over 4 with 4 strikeouts.
So by the way, he said that I was the manager. Maybe I don't know. I can manager say, yeah, we cannot get him out. That's why we're going to hit it again.
Yeah, but again, and
why? Because he looks
well. So here's the part, and that's what I'm talking about. Tatis and Twitter. Tweeting's one thing. You gotta back it up. Okay, gotta back it up. And
like the guy I hate. I don't like the most.
He backed it up in a 60.
Not only Trevor Bauer, Carlos Correa.
He's
doing it right
backing
now.
It up. He looks at you. He's talking to you. He backs it up. So Acuna, the Dodgers. There's a lot of players that like talking. They have to back it up. Now what used to be verbal now is on social media. Trevor Bauer, for example, he's running the whole. I'm in Washington. Tell me your favorite spot players. He's doing that whatever city he goes to. Okay, because he's also a 60-game guy. Whatever city he goes to, he's gonna have to back it up. That takes me to the series today. I tweeted at the picture today. Today is they're playing for the history of baseball. Okay, the manager that makes the less mistakes. I was hoping that Mr. Boom Dad calls Aaron and tells him, son, if you're going to get fired, go down with what you know about baseball.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole on his way out told Aaron, said, I want the ball because they were not planning on pitching him. Garrett Cole has a picture that says, a Yankee fan forever. This guy has pitched this game in his mind, in his backyard. This is the biggest game of his life.
Because Garrett Cole's a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
Since he was a kid.
Most of kids.
He's been very verbal about that. Aaron Boone, which surprising to me because I think he's actually a good manager and a good people's person. I'm surprised at how he's been under the the spotlight, or to say, in this series.
But A-Rod said it the best.
And Kevin Cash, or what's the guy's name for the Rays?
Yeah, Kevin.
Has outmanaged him
Former Yankee.
with less. Aaron has run into a little bit of trouble. But today, you're paying a guy X amount of money for the biggest game, because if the Yankees don't get to the ALCS, at least, that's a failure.
Well,
If you're going to win the ring.
The issue is this. Garrett Cole goes in the game, gives up a run in the first inning.
You leave him in.
He's pulled early. You got to leave him in.
You leave him in.
You got to ride your horse. Well, hold on. They've done that. So Garrett, A-Rod, and a lot of people don't agree with A-Rod. A-Rod said it.
Right.
No, he was right. Why? The Tampa Bay Rays, you want to call them the Harvard kids, they've been built to play this way. Okay? So they have a
They
car.
call them the Ivy Leaguers.
They've been playing like that.
No, they've been playing all year long.
Few years.
So Kevin Cash knows that if he leaves takes Glass now early, I think
It's gonna be okay.
Blake Snell's going to pitch. He'll go to his bullpen. That's how they were built. You have to fight how you were built. When you're a boxer, you have to fight.
Right. If you're a defensive fighter,
if you're a defensive fighter. You can't go in there and just be like, I'm going to change my game. Teams that do that lose.
AKA the Sox.
AKA the Sox. If the Yankees go in today's game, okay, and they try to play Rays baseball, it's going to be done early, and it's going to be ugly.
You know what? Speaking of the Yankees, I want to give, because I always give them a hard time. Stanton's getting his money's worth.
Oh, he's hitting. But that's what they did. They were built on offense
and power.
They were building on power. Even the shift stuff. Yesterday they had a shift. They had the regular move, double play, inning ends. Trust your players. You have a good hitting team. Let the guys go deep. Why? Your bullpen was built to be an old school bullpen, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And
it was not built to go 3, 2, 4, 6.
Correct.
Okay, that's not what it was built. When you look at the bullpen, you say, Tavino, Chapman, those guys are 7, 8 inning, 8, 9 inning guys. So the Yankees will win if they play their baseball. Garrett Cole today, statistics, grab it, throw it away. Why? Garrett Cole's never pitched in a 3 days rest. This guy right now could either be the most amazing person because he's going to have inner Sandy Koufax come out, or he might struggle. But this is the best game, and this is why he was paid the
my
big
money.
bucks.
My money is on the Yankees and Garrett.
And how about the Pirates? I get to watch the game. Both guys were once Pirates.
That hurts. It's because they can't sign them.
They can't sign them. It's unfortunate.
All the guys that are pitching for Tampa, they used to be Pirates. Garrett Cole was a Pirate. The Pirates can't compete financially with the Yankees.
I did like though the Yankees, and he did went to the move. How about they benched him.
Gary Sanchez.
They benched Gary because the defense, and we saw it in the game. That the
guy had 2 hits.
The guy had 2 hits, but I'm saying they're making a better baseball team. Gary is a better player, but they're trying to find the balance. So again, that takes us to the next series. Whoever wins this gets to have the amazing Houston Astros. The Astros just waiting.
The Astros, I feel like it's divine intervention.
That's the reason I want the Yankees to win.
I want the Yankees
to be awesome.
It's going to be great. If it's New York, Houston's a huge population. Everybody will be interested because the Yankees and CeCe Sabathia has been very vocal.
I like that.
And I want to see this matchup, and you have names. The league is driven by star players. Correa, Altuve, Bregman, they're stars. The Yankees, Stanton, Judge, Cole, stars. Greinke, guys with big payday. This is what we pay to watch. Even though I would love Tampa to advance,
and
I want it to be the Yankees.
And this is something about old school and new school. Tampa, the Ivy Leaguers, if they don't win and they don't advance, they're still a great season team, just like Oakland, the super analytics, super everything, out early.
Small budget.
It still hasn't been able to compete. Real quick on Zach Greinke, for all the people out there on Twitter, when he went like this, he wasn't saying he was throwing the fastball. He could be saying take 2 or add 2. He wasn't telling the guy.
I don't know, but that looked very suspicious to Loriano because he's done it all year. Greinke is pitching, and he'll go like if like fastball, and he went like this.
If Momo the fool does it, I second guess him. Zach Greinke's been pitching long enough in the big leagues, and they won this series. So whatever Zach's doing, the National League Championship Series though is going to be something that's going to be very interesting. Okay, Ronald Acuna, one of the most fascinating players, even without the antics. Ozuna, who nobody wanted him in the offseason. Atlanta takes a shot at him.
Nice.
60-game season. El Oso is what they call him. I call him the guy that couldn't play defense in St. Louis.
That's what they call him, the Oso.
The Oso couldn't move.
But he can move.
But he can hit.
But he's
So
hitting.
these guys are going to go in.
I
Freddie Freeman, an exciting team. They're going to go in and play against the Swanson.
Dansby. You know this is the first time. This is the first.
How good is Acuna?
Hold on. Before we get into Acuna, Dusty, first time in the NLCS since 2000 in the championship series since 2003. Bartman. And the Braves haven't been back since Bobby Cox in 2001. That is a long time ago.
That's why people think, oh, it's easy to rebuild.
Yeah, like, oh, it's so easy to get back to the championship series. No, it's
Now,
not.
if I can assist, and then the Astros are going to their 4th American League
Great.
championship.
So my point before we get into the Acuna, so if they were so good, like they're proving right now, why did you have to bang on the trash can? Why did you do that? Let your talent take over. Don't get greedy. The banging on the trash can is more embarrassing now than it was before. Say, we're here. We didn't even need that.
All we really made off. Why didn't you stop at 10 billion?
Exactly. Like, hey, you got 10 billion. Why are you going to keep going? Ronald Acuna.
Look what Sammy Garcia said. The Yankees text Gary and told him tonight's game is in Hawaii.
It's in Hawaii. You know what, though, Sammy, that the game's not there. But I'll tell you this. I do like Gary Sanchez coming off the bench. I don't care what anybody says, and people argue this with analytics. When you look at the bench and you're managing, and he can tell you this, and you see Gary Sanchez is the guy that might come take the pinch hit, it's a lot different than saying Ozzie Jr. or Gary Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what that matchup says.
You got to say one matchup you got to take.
Yeah.
It's offensively. I don't think the matchup because they're going to bring him. At least I want to catch.
Correct. If you want to get in the game.
Yeah,
they're carrying 3 catches. Though.
And Ronald Acuna is my countryman. He's a fascinating player.
I love him.
Amazing tools. I think this is where it's the Dodgers' turn to win a World Series. Baseball owes this team a World Series. Dave Roberts deserves a ring. Atlanta will get there. San Diego will get there. The Dodgers have been there. They've been there. Like, how many times you wanted it? Don't you think Clayton Kershaw is going to go to the Hall of Fame? They deserve that ring. This organization deserves that ring.
By the way, Clayton, the hat that he wears, super dirty.
It's his thing.
Wear a new hat in the playoffs. He's been getting that. That hat's ERA is like 28.
So I told you guys here.
By the way, he acts like he's Sandy Koufax with his hat. Dude, your ERA is like 28 with that hat. Papa, get him. If I'm his teammate, I say, here, bro, get a new hat. That's not working.
The championship series is in Arlington.
Yes.
In that ballpark.
By the way,
I am not a fan of that place.
It's not that bad. It looks nice. I looked at another picture. It looks nice. Here's the thing.
I never seen it.
Do you care about what the stadium looks like from the outside or what it looks like inside?
Inside.
Both.
Well, no,
inside looks amazing.
The Diamondbacks, you fly up in the top of the Diamondback. It looks like a warehouse. But you go inside, and wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, I like it. It's going to be fun.
And there's going to be fans in the stadium, which is great. And the Lakers are going to win their 5th title today.
Well,
it pains me to say that.
You don't know that.
Because I don't like LeBron James.
Yeah, LBJ, not a fan. So I'm going to something funny. I know we're not supposed to get political, but think about this. Just think about this scenario. Houston Astros visit the White House. Donald Trump's president. Think about how upset. Hold on.
Maybe not.
No, but
I mean, we don't know.
Worst case scenario, though, for some people, will be them like this. Just think about, to some people, like that election that's coming up, which please go vote, is going to be so important. But there's those scenarios. I'm like, what's the worst case scenario for? I'm just saying
they shut a vote.
I'm saying, what's the worst case scenario for this friend? I'm thinking about like people that are anti-Trump are like, what's the worst case scenario that they hate the Astros and they hate him, and then they both get to be there? Or what's the best case scenario for somebody? I just thinking like you have him there, that's going to cause so much controversy, but they're in it, and they're in it because of this, the way this season is set up, which is good for them, good for Dusty. It's going to be interesting. Regardless, I really believe that regardless of who comes out of the American League, the Astros have their hands full. Okay, with both teams that are coming in, I think they're going to be the favorite. I think the Dodgers win from the National League. They're in the World Series just because I think it's the Dodgers' turn. If they're not, but again, who knows how hot they're going to get. But again, I think players need to stop tweeting so much and do it more on the field. What do you got?
Mario Rosario, he looked like a Foreman grill.
The stadium looks like a Foreman grill.
Okay, I mean, Foreman grill?
These are things that we're going to look forward to. Let's be honest. I've called out here the Yankees.
The memes.
Yeah,
memes,
deadly.
Jokes.
The Yankees and Dodgers, MLB would love Yankees Dodgers.
Last time Yankees Dodgers, it was
Charlie Huff and Reggie Jackson.
It was Tommy Lasorda.
It was Reggie Jackson, Mr. October. They were the Pinguino, Ron Say, all those guys were playing.
Who would you root for in that series?
Dodgers. Me? Dodgers.
Oh, I'm saying. Well, we always like.
I always root against the evil empire. It's called the Yankees. You always. But in this case, I want the Dodgers. I personally, I think Dave Roberts deserves one, and I think after what the Astros did, which they've admitted to cheating in the playoffs. And now if it was Dodgers Astros, I wouldn't be upset because now it's like, okay,
here we go. We got
you wanted head to head. You got it.
Again, you have Dusty, and again, I think.
Sorry, I've met you a bunch of times. Sorry, Dusty, I love you. No, but I just wish you were managing another team.
No, but I'm saying that for Dusty though, I think like the way that we judge him, because a lot of people go out there and they're like, Dusty, he's a horrible manager, especially people here in Chicago that know nothing about baseball.
No, he's a good manager.
He's a good manager. He got them again to where they were the year before.
And now he's taken with how many? Dusty's taken the Giants.
Yeah, everybody takes
the Reds, the Astros,
and the Cubs.
To the postseason.
Well, he was a couple hours away. So here's the part I want to talk about.
So he has 14 to the playoffs.
Dusty was dangerous because they combined Cincinnati.
Yeah, the Reds.
By the way, they stopped. The Astros did not stop doing analytics. Okay, and the Astros discovered something the White Sox should look in the mirror and do. 4 of the guys that have pitched for the Astros this year were on Osney's team in like single A River Valley Cats.
Yeah.
So they realized we can pitch with young pitching and at least try to compete. So they figured out a way, again, the evolution, and they combined old school with new school. Altuve's bat's heating up. But again, Dusty did his job, took the heat. When you see the Astros playing, the Astros that we thought were going to be, that we're going to be scared.
No. But obviously, they're veterans. Like,
I'm saying you could have gotten scared. You could have been there. You could have been like a little fatigued.
Okay, wait. Let me tell you something. Why? Because Dusty Baker's a manager.
They're not a better team.
Because
they are not. They were a better team than the first 2 teams that they faced, player by player.
Yeah, they were.
The Minnesota and Oakland.
No, but I'm saying
they are not better.
But I'm saying they didn't falter. They did not.
If they face Tampa, they will be talent-wise. They're better. If they face the Yankees, they are not better talent-wise than the Yankees.
Well,
they are not.
That's what I'm saying. No, they win. Whatever Dusty does.
Gleyber Torres is no one talks about Gleyber because
really good team.
Ronald Acuna is more excited. Gleyber Torres is a good player who's blossoming in front of everyone.
You know what people don't realize this about?
Good.
You know what people don't realize is everyone hates his defense. His defense is not me playing shortstop.
No,
his defense is not. He's not like a Gold Glover Ozzie Smith, but he's not Ozzie Jr. in short.
Gleyber.
He makes all the clean.
Gleyber Torres. DJ LeMahieu. Stanton. LeMahieu.
By the way, DJ LeMahieu. Everyone talks about who's a free agent. Who's the top free agent? In my opinion, the top free agent is him. Yeah. He's just a boring. Again, NBA rules culture. NFL follows it. We love culture-wise. We love players that do the selfie. That DJ LeMahieu goes up there.
No, you do.
I'm saying no. Fans do.
Fans.
People still ask, why isn't
DJ LeMahieu reminds me of Michael Young.
Correct.
Oh my God.
But I'm saying people still ask, why isn't Puy on a team? Like that's like because I'm saying though, because they think that his numbers are so much amazing
because of stuff that he does.
There's players that's why I think, and I'm going to mention him again. That's why this year I respect Trevor Bauer because before I didn't.
Who's a superstar? He doesn't say much. He doesn't do much. Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts, he's a stud.
He's
really good.
Stud.
So it's going to be exciting though. We want to watch a game where we film ourselves while watching the game. I think that would be exciting. I know the guys at Barstool Sports do that. I love watching the game by watching them because when they lose, obviously they got money on the game. They get devastated. But I really believe that this playoff series, Major League Baseball, this is not going anywhere. I think they love the format.
I agree. I just wish it was one thing that was different. If you have the division winners in a wild card round, then what's the point of winning? What's the point of winning the division?
You win the division, you'll be
exactly. So I think if you win the division, you get a bye the first round.
At least to set up your pitching, which is another thing that like the Dodgers.
It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to Minnesota. That they won the division, and now we got to play a good team.
Yeah.
The Astros didn't have a good year. Minnesota should have been able to advance to the second round because winning
set up their pitching
because winning the division is a big deal. So I don't agree with that they had to play.
They got to short the season. I don't know how many games, but they got to short the season.
I think 130 games is
more people in the playoff, and the three guys have to pitch the same guy.
The pitcher.
No, they got to.
But that rule's got to go
every time.
And
I think bad.
And I think it's so. The 3-hitter thing is so weird. It shouldn't be like that because you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. It really affects the way that you manage.
Yeah,
it really affects the way you manage.
It's also you've been creating yourself, and you've been building a system as a manager, as pitcher for the old school way they did it. And now with this new 3-pitcher rule, you start getting into a place where you don't know and you're kind of inventing as you go. But here's something that's very interesting, though. When I look at the amount of games played as an owner, when we're paying money, no one plays 162 games. Cal Ripken can sit his feet up and say, no one's ever going to break my record.
130 games, man.
That's what I'm saying, though. But
140.
So let the top guys play 132 games.
And more days off.
I'm saying, no, the top guys play 132 games. The top guys, the Bryce Harpers of the world, the Sotos, the Acuñas.
Yeah, they
guys
play
are
150. They play like 150.
Probably
150. So you look at them.
You had the season wins 20-0.
Okay, so why not? So if that's the case, why not just push spring training back?
Push spring training back to March and then start
And cut spring training by 2 weeks. Players would love that.
And we'll
I don't know why, because pitchers need that. Say pitchers go out 2 weeks early.
But they do that though.
No.
I'm saying the pitchers show up now. Guys are showing up to spring training in January, having mini camp. And if you're not at mini camp, Zach Greinke said, if I knew that I could have showed up the last day, I would have done it.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. If you're a kid,
those last
cousin, you can't show up the last day. So it's like your competition is showing up at mini camp. You got January 3rd. You got to pack your bags. Yeah. Go January 3rd. They got to do like college. Say no one can.
Let's example. When would you show up to camp?
He was a week late.
The last.
I never was late, but
last day that you could.
No. I was there. You had to be March 1st. March 1st.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you never showed up there because you
never came early.
Also, you didn't have any competition. You didn't have anybody coming.
No, sometimes like 2 weeks after mini camp, after the big league mini camp,
guys were working out.
Oh, it's time to get drunk every day.
Yeah, guys were getting ready for the season. My dad,
Uglubina, he showed after his birthday.
Yeah.
and he's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher show after his birthday.
So see, everyone has their own routine. So my dad was getting drunk in Venezuela, not doing anything baseball related.
So got
at all
1,500 hits plus. So we'll talk more. We have so many topics to cover. This week's going to be exciting. Keep watching baseball. See our old episodes on our social media pages and obviously on the podcast. Subscribe. It is gratuity. You don't have to pay anything. It's for free. Is that the right word? I don't think I use the right word, but complimentary. That's the right word. Long day. So here from La Vida Baseball.
You can say it's free, only style.
Only style. It's for free. So keep watching baseball. La Vida Baseball is here. Being Guillén, thank you so much. And again, my Marlins won't get one of these again, but some other team.
The Marlins lost their first playoff series ever.
I know. Thank you and have a good week.
You know why they didn't lose?